Hi there, folks, and welcome to our preview of racing on Friday, the 28th of October. We're speaking to you on a Thursday night. I've got Nino Podesta with me here. We're talking about the big meeting that is the Tab for Racing Algoa Cup. Fairview's Day of Giving, it's titled, and there are 9 races on the program. And what a pleasure, Nino Podesta, it is to open up a card and to see fields of this size as opposed to some of the meetings that we've been fed lately. It really is a treat to have competitive racing like this.
Yeah, Nico. Good evening, Nico. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Nice big fields, and now there's a chance to make money.
Well, I hope you've looked at the card because I haven't yet.
Indeed, it's a competitive card. That's where, that's where the payouts are. So it's hopefully that we get it right.
Well, and if we are going to get it right, no better time than to get it right for our big weekend here on Clock in the Gallop. And I just want to remind folks that have until tomorrow midday to action getting on board the Clock in the Gallop direct line. It is something that we've come up with over the last few months. We had our inaugural one towards about a month or so ago, which was very successful. And people that have come on board are certainly happy and appreciative that they did come on board because whilst not everything is correct, and everyone will admit that, the analysis by our team certainly makes it well worthwhile. And for those people that don't have a chance to study, don't have a chance to look at a book, there's no better money spent. And Nino and myself know what effort and time gets put into this. We're joined by Neil Andrews and the Ghost Rider and Lyle Cooper. And Nino, it really is a good time for us really to bond with each other and to find out what we like and to put it all together for our patrons.
Yeah, Nico, absolutely. That's what we do, and that's what we try and dish out to our clients. And we all put in big efforts into this, and we try our best, and hopefully we can get it right this weekend.
Now, just to let folks know that there are still 4 meetings that you'll get for your 250 Rand. The only difference is that the Monday meeting has now been cancelled. So we're shifting that to the Wednesday meeting at Greyville. That's the 2nd of November, but you'll still get your 4 meetings for your 250 Rand. Please contact us if you want any more information on our email address, clockingthegallop, one word, @gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 079 390 5747. And if you want to join us, then just deposit your money, 250 Rand, into our bank account, which is on the right-hand side of the details. But use your name and your mobile number, please, as the reference. And we're looking forward to giving you all that information starting from tomorrow. Right, let's get cracking. We have got Nino with his selections. Nino's got a best bet, he's got a value bet, and he's got a bipot to show us as well. So let's go straight into it. Nino, how do we start off the day? No scratchings as of Thursday evening. We're recording this about 7:30 in the evening. No scratchings to note on the card. But bring us up to speed with your first race. Now, judging by what you've given me for race 1, it looks like you think it's open because you've put in quite a few numbers here.
Yeah, Nico, I do. I think it's a chappy little race to start off with, but luckily it's not part of the exotics. So we don't have to spend too much time on this card, but just analysing it, we look at number 1, Tiger's Eye, from the Kelly Mitchley stable. We all support her, and hopefully it does well, but it hasn't run since Feb of this year. That makes it 8. She hasn't run for 8 months, but 2 good runs over the 1200. I think Emily's Spirit is better over the 1000. I think she'll struggle over the 12. So I've come down to Flowers of Night, Burning Moon, and Tiger's Eye, and number 10, Kilmonivig. How do you pronounce that name?
Kilmonivig. I think you liked this a bit last time. You said to me it may run a good race. It was well-bred horse.
Yeah, it ran 4th, but there was only 4 horses in the race. I remember that day. Yeah. I think 3 horses were scratched at the start.
Yeah.
And then, Nico, we just have to keep an eye on this very, very well-bred horse, number 9, Hazy Crazy Night. We keep an eye on that when it goes over distance. I don't know if you remember the mother,
I do.
Nightingale.
I do remember her. Yeah.
Top-class filly, Nightingale. It was trained by Mike Bass, I think.
It was trained by Mike Bass, yeah. It was trained by the Basses. What a day.
I think she's going to need...
What a day.
I'll tell you, next time... This horse goes down in the black book. Next time she runs, if she doesn't cause an upset tomorrow, next time over 1,600, I think we'll make some money with it. So, yeah, I'll put it in brackets. I think, this should be 5, not 6, the selection.
Oh, okay. I put 6. 5 flowers.
I think I made a mistake. It should be 5, 8, 1, 10.
Well, it isn't part of the exotics, but maybe that's a good sign. Okay, so 5 is tipped to win. Flowers of Night. I was going to ask you why you like Karoo Magic.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's a mistake. Sorry, Nico.
Yeah.
My eyes are getting bad. The older you get, the sight starts to go.
Okay, so the fitting of the blinkers to Flowers of Night should make all the difference. That's the way.
Yeah. That's it. And Kamala back on. I think they put the blinkers on to make it to sharpen it up over the 1,200 because it's been running over 1,400, but not a strong field. So it's got to have a chance. Burning Moon, not a bad run behind Tipsy Tina, but that was a very weak field. I remember that brass, not the brass, but Divine Design was in that race. That's been
it is a brass. You can say that word brass because it is a brass.
Yeah, well, it kept on getting beaten, so the field wasn't strong. I'm just keeping my eye out on this number 9. See how it goes tomorrow. That's the horse that I'm keen on.
Okay, let's move on to the second race. Small field for the start of the bipot. A fillies and mares 95 handicap. It's 1,000 meters. You haven't made a mistake here. Fedra's good to win, and she's now trying to reel off 6 wins in a row, but 7 out of 8. Unbelievable how she's gone.
She's won 6 out of her last 7, and the that she beat last time was top class. I mean, surely she should beat a field of this nature. I know she's a little bit out at the weights with horses like Civil Rights and Stolen Kiss, but she's back over the 1,000. I think she's best over the 1,000. And the way she won over 12 last time out, beating Clifftop, was nothing short of. I was impressed, very, very impressed with that run. I didn't think she'll do it over the 12. Coming back down to the 1,000, Louis up, going for 6 in a row. She's got to be the horse to beat, and I can't see her getting beaten. I can't even probably Stolen Kiss. I don't know about Fusillade. I thought that was a bit sharp, the 1,000 for Fusillade. But you always got to respect these raiders. I don't know why Andre Nels put that horse in there. But Grand Van Niekerk is coming down. You got to have a second look at that. So Fedra, Civil Rights, Fusillade, and Stolen Kiss. But I think Fedra will do it, Nico.
Okay, so Nino's on Fedra. I respect Andre Nels' call because he is picks his and chooses. He's got 4 horses. I respect them right throughout the card, as you know. Whenever they do visit this Eastern Cape venue, they do really well. So I think that's the biggest danger, actually, to the horse that you're tipping. Okay, let's go on to race 3, the start of the PA. It's a maiden plate over the 1,600 meters. And here, it's Green Mandarin and Perfection. Now, Glenn Cotson is obviously targeting this meeting, and he's had great success at this meeting before. And he is definitely, if you said one trainer to follow for the day, it has to be him.
It's got to be Glenn. Nico, Glenn is a master of riding PE. To me, he's the best rider of PE out of all the visiting trainer. He just knows how to place their horses. Now, I make this a 2-horse race, but I'm going with very strong on Green Mandarin. First time out on the poly over 1,200, lost 3 lengths at the start, and only ran 2 lengths behind Big Slick that came out to win again. So very strong form line. This is a very, very weak field, and I believe that only perfection can give it a run. But I think Glenn Cotson will start winning ways in the second race.
Well, that's
Very strong selection, Green Mandarin.
It's his first runner on the day's card, Green Mandarin. You think that's going to beat perfection here?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Right, let's move on to the race 4, the start of the pick 6, the fillies and mares 90 handicap. It's over the 1400-meter trip. Here, Nina, you're going with your best bet on the card. The best bet on the entire card is And We Danced, who's going for 3 in a row for a bang-in form Sharon Kotzen and Lune Kotwa.
Yeah, and the way she beat Santa Teresa last time, there's not many horses that can beat Santa Teresa in PE, but very, very impressive. Nico, the only little concern is a step down in distance from the 16 to the 14, but she did win the 1500 the time before that. To me, this is the best bet on the card. I don't know what price it is.
5 to 2. 5
to 2.
5 to
not
2.
Bad. I think she's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, 5 to 2 as I got, yeah.
The danger to me is Phoenix with Grant up and coming back over the 1400. I believe Phoenix is best over 1400. I'll make that the only danger to And We Dance.
Okay. Just quickly going back to that first race. In that first race, I've just seen a change that the tongue tie has gone on Hazy Crazy Night in race 1, number 9.
Yeah, it's got the tongue tie here on the form. It shows a tongue tie
on the
tag form.
Okay. Yes. I'm seeing it as a change listed here on the change.
I'm just worried that, you know what, the only thing that worries me is that Richard Fourie is not riding it.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that it's going to need the run and it's going to need further. But it's definitely also going to keep an eye on, and we will make money with this horse because it will win very, very soon there over ground.
Okay. So let's go back to race 4. You're bankering And We Danced, I suspect, in the bipot, are you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm bankering it.
Okay, so 3, 2, 8, and 10 for Nino race 4. Let's go to the 5th. A merit rated 95 handicap over the 1400-meter trip. And here, Adios Amigos for Candice Bass Robinson, a very, very strong stable at the moment. They had a red letter day at Kenilworth. They've only got a couple of runners on the card, but you like this Adios Amigos to arrive?
Well, I do. I make that the first choice. I don't make it a certainty, but the way that Candice Bass's stable is flying at the moment, they're just about winning everything in Cape Town. She wouldn't take it there just to make up the numbers. And I do believe that he's best over 1400, even though he has won over 16. I think 1400 is his best distance. Drawn 7. Last time out, ran behind a very good horse at my command that ran second to what's that champion, Charles Dickens, last time out. So it was taken on a strong field back down in this kind of class. A definite runner. Baldrazar, very impressive when they took the blinkers off. Richard Fourie back on. Got to have a chance and keep it secret. We have to respect Justin. Last time this horse came to P over course and distance, I think it won. You can have a look there. I think before it ran second to you know who.
Yeah, it did when it beat Ferrari Ice by 2 1/4 lengths.
Over course and distance.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's much
so
better
those are the
Ferrari Ice. It's 3.5 kilos better off.
Correct.
And it beat it, yeah.
I'll make it between those 3, but I know I've added a couple more in the bipot, hoping to get a result. I've put in a horse like Bush Tracker because of Glenn Cotson. That could come back to its best. It could cause an upset. Moon Game is a top form, running very well, has to go in. And then I think Legitimate could be the lurker here. Back over the 1400. They've been running this horse over the wrong distance. 1400 is the right distance.
Okay.
I think I've put that in the bipot as well.
Okay, so you think Legitimate back over the 1400 is a prospect. Okay, moving on to the next race, which I've always fancied. One of the races I really look forward to, not only in the Eastern Cape, but in general in the country, is this listed race for 3-year-olds over the 1600 meters. And I wish other centers had more races like it. It's basically the good 3-year-olds up against each other. And the horse that wins this normally goes on not only to be a national hero. If you remember Lizard's Desire, once upon a time winning this race and what that went on to do. So that's the type of horse that wins this race. And I'm so happy that you tipped Grinkhoff because I thought this was the right horse. And when I was in Gqeberha last week, I was asking about what horses were nominated to run here. And this is the name everyone was speaking about, was Grinkhoff. I see there's been money for it. It's been backed into 4-1 now.
Well, when I did look at this betting and I saw 6-1 earlier in the week, and you get goosebumps. When I saw this horse running, I just couldn't keep my eye off it. Gee whiz, the last run and the run before that, when it beat Good Counsel. Now we know how good Counsel is. That's actually Fortune horse. They trotted up in Joburg a couple of weeks ago. And Nico, last time drawn 12 out of 14 and only ran 4 lengths behind Cousin Casey. And it had a problem which has been sorted out. And that I know something, that the horse had a sore foot or something, but it's been sorted. The problem has been sorted. And I can't believe 6-1 on this horse. I think it's so. There's no form. I just don't know if she's good enough to beat Grinkhoff.
And then Andre Nell's horse again, Iconic Destination. Granted, it was receiving 3 kilos from Charles Dickens, but it got to 3 lengths of it, which means it's probably 6 lengths inferior to Charles Dickens. Is 6 lengths inferior to Charles Dickens good enough to win here or not?
Yeah, it is. But, it was a small field and something had to run second that day. And the way Charles Dickens just pulled away, it could have been, the distance could have been even bigger. But he's drawn 12, but a definite chance, Nico. Like I said, all these riders, you've got to respect them, and you've got to have a second look at them. Even Elise Morris from the Brett Crawford, drawn 1. Just won the maiden. We don't know how good it is. The form hasn't been franked beyond contiguous. I don't think that's won again. And then Glen's got another 2 horses, Dowser and Famous Rich. But I think the one was Gavin Lerena up. I think that's the right one.
I agree with you. I think that is the right horse tomorrow. Moving on to the big one, the Tab for Racing Algoa Cup, a listed event, 2,000 meters. You took Mount Anderson here to beat Kalima and third to Follow the Star. That's your choices. So you're going for the local horse, well, the ex-Natal horse, but now a local horse, Mount Anderson.
I'm hoping for Kelly Beachley that this horse can come through for him. Very impressive first time over the 1800. I know he's carrying a bit of weight, a couple of kilos worse off with grazing in the grass. But I make this a very tough race. I'm actually at logs heads here to tip, because I think there's a lot here with chances. Master Redoubt, I think, also has a chance with Andre Nel. He went to Durban, 1600, probably short, took on a very strong field. And Sailor must have a bit of
information. You heard some information that this horse would beat Pomp and Power at one time, didn't you? That it would beat it in the Derby.
Yeah.
And it was backed as well. I mean, people did their money, but I mean, it was no factor that day, but who knows? I mean, maybe it's time for Master Redoubt to prove whoever told you whatever they told you.
Yeah, well, gee, I don't know. You remember that day I was tipped this horse?
I do remember. That's why I'm bringing it up. In fact, I'm bringing the story up, but I brought up a lot more on the day when it ran.
Yeah, you did. But it did run second to Universal the time before that. And then it ran second to Safari Blue over the 16. And then they took it to Durban. Jesus, this is a tough race, Nico. I would load up here.
Okay. Yeah, but that's your first choice, the locally trained Mount Anderson. As we move on to the eighth, which is a pinnacle stakes over the 1100 meters, race 8, you're going for Cruise Control, who seems to be in cruise control. JP van der Merwe's riding again, and both times he's ridden it, it's ended up being a winner.
Yeah, and she's getting better. Very fast filly, very impressive. I think
Gelding.
she's going from, hey?
It's a gelding.
I mean, yeah, Gelding. Very impressive winner. She's won over the 1100. I don't think that will be the problem. And the only danger has to be cliff top. So I'll make this a race in two between cruise control and cliff top. But I'm in the camp of cruise control.
And you've been a cliff top fan, haven't you, in his most recent races? He hasn't run badly. It's just that he hasn't got his head in front.
Yeah, you know, and very disappointing last time, Nico. And I think the drop down from the 12 to the 1100 is not ideal. I would have preferred him over 12.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm going with cruise control.
Okay, it takes us to the last race, a classified stakes up the straight, 1200 meters, the biggest field of the day. At 5 o'clock, it goes off. In the race, Alamites and Blinkers go on. Number 3, Birdie and Bogey make those changes. The full set of Alamites is now on, and the Blinkers go on as well. You're going for Federal Reserve, another Kotson inmate to end off the day. It's a maiden.
Yeah. Yeah, another minefield of the race. But I'm going with this because I'll tell you why. The form lines of this horse are very, very strong. Now, even start in a maiden when she ran 9 lengths beyond Street Outlaw. That day, if you have a look there, a horse called Real Jamin ran second that day. Ran second behind Street Outlaw. Now, we all know what Real Jamin has done. I think she's won 3 on the trot in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Right? Then she ran behind Trompy, and that's come out to win. Then behind the Royal Aussie, I think Galactic Path was in that race.
Yeah, Royal Aussie's one of the favourites to win the big race in Cape Town on Sunday, isn't it?
And that's come out to win again. And Galactic Path has won 3 in a row. And the last run behind Paul the Norm, that's come out to win. So even though it's still a maiden and carrying 60 kilos, the form lines are very, very strong, Nico. And the field she's taking on tomorrow is not, it's not a very strong field at all. So even though she's a maiden, I think she can win it.
Yeah. I've got my doubts at 60 kilos. I must be honest. I haven't studied the form, but I don't know the profile of the horse. I just have my doubts giving weight to some of these older horses. The horse you've tipped for second interested me a little bit, Cracklin Rosie, because she's a newcomer to the province and now with Cliffy Miller.
Yeah. But you don't think the 12 is a bit short for her, Nico? Drawn 1, but it's got Richard Fourie on. Yeah. But if you have a look at her, she was also beaten by a maiden. Betty Boop was a maiden. And I think there was not much in the weight. I think Betty Boop carried 58.5.
I'll have to look at it closely, but they're very good horses. Royal Aussie, Trompy, Street Outlaw, Paz de Nom. The form lines look good. Crackling Rose is second. Third, you've gone for 9, Big Sky Country. I think last time you tipped as a value bet, ran 6 lengths off them.
Not bad. Yeah, but now it's got Keegan de Miller on.
Yeah.
So,
and fourth is this horse, Last Storm, who's interesting as well, Last Storm.
Another maiden.
Yeah, that's another maiden. So that's another interesting fact there. Yeah, so that's interesting. 1, 6, 9, 11 on Nino's tips there. Right, that wraps up the selections. But now we're going to move on to the all-important bipot, Nino, and then confirmation of your best and your value bets. So just while I look for that slide, because my computer is very sluggish today, it's almost like... it thinks it's going to be captured by the Special Investigative Unit, who seem to be nabbing every wrongdoer in the country at the moment in the last week. They seem to be taking everyone right out.
Okay. Are you under investigation there, though?
No, I'm just saying it looks like my computer thinks it's under investigation
Oh, okay.
because every person in this, well, every crook in the country is being nabbed at the moment, which is great news. Okay, let's carry on. Let's go on to this. There we go. There's your bipod for 84 rand.
Yeah. And 84 Rand, and we're starting with a banker of number 2, Federer, banker in number 7, Green Mandarin, banker number 3, and we danced. Then I put in 2 ideas amigo, 5, keep it secret, 7, legitimate, 9, bold resolve, 10, bush tracker, and 11, moon game. Then I've covered drink off just in case with number 1. So I've gone 1 and 2, Kaya's Open, Green Cove, and then I loaded up the last league. Because what did I put in? Number 1, Mount Anderson, number 2, Grazing in the Grass. I put in 5, Trilima, 8, Follow the Star, 9, Master Redoubt, 10, and Solo, and number 13, Arctic Drift for 84 Rand.
Just you mentioned a horse there that I have to have a closer look at, and that is Hunt Solo, because he really has impressed me as a horse. Just his guts and determination to get there. He may have run second in his last 4 starts, but I think he's a runner in that Algoa.
Well, he actually won the last start, and it was
yeah, that's right. It was taken away. Yeah,
it was taken away in the.
He's a gritty horse, and I think he's got a big chance in that Algoa Cup. But just 84 Rand will get you that. So basically, it's 3 bankers. You could bank a Grinkov. I mean, I think I'm pretty strong on Grinkov. If you did bank a Grinkov, then you're only looking at a spend of 42 Rand, with 6 horses in the 4th leg and the 7 horses in the 6th leg. But the best bet is race 4, number 3, and We Dance, which is currently on a Thursday evening trading at 5-2. And the value bet is race 6, number 2, Grinkov, who's currently at 4-1. Now, if you want to hear more from Nino and you want to hear more from our Clock in the Gallop crowd, then you have to join up to that Clock in the Gallop direct line. You'll get all the information sent to you by sort of late Friday morning. I'm going to Gqeberha tomorrow. I plan to commentate on the 9 races of the day. I'm really going to have good fun and hopefully catch up with some of the trainers that we've mentioned tonight. Andre Nell, hopefully he's there, and Glenn Coxon's there. And maybe I might just do 1 or 2 sneak previews before the meeting gets underway tomorrow when I'm there.
Can you do one with Glenn? Try and do one with Glenn.
You know that Glenn and I, and he'll admit this, Glenn and I go back a very, very long way. He grew up, his father, Nate Kotson, used to train horses in Zimbabwe.
Correct. Darren told me.
At the race course that I started commentating at. But previously to that, Nate, I think, trained horses in Zambia, if I'm not too mistaken, before that. So the point is that Glenn and I used to actually go to the same birthday parties. I don't think we were at the same school, but we went to the same birthday parties and had great fun as kids.
Okay. Just say hello to him for me as well. I've come a long way with him as well.
Yeah.
And I was actually speaking to his brother Darren, the farrier that puts
yes, I know Darren well. Yeah.
And he told me that about in Zambia, his father used to train horses, and
his father was a legend. His father and my grandmother were great pals. And my grandmother always used to ask his dad, Glenn's dad, for tips. And I always remind Nate Kotson, the old man, about that. But yeah, wonderful family. Absolutely love them to bits. They're a fantastic family, and the Kotson name is synonymous with winners. And I think if I do have a chance to speak to Glenn tomorrow, I might just pass it on to the people out there. Anyway, Nino, that's